Issue Point going in the house, back with another bang on video where, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some really exciting transfer news for you guys. But not only about the transfer news, we've got some really awesome um, news, because we have Mikel Arteta's pre-match conference transcript. Of course, we will definitely inform you about what did Arteta say uh, before the Manchester City Carabao Cup fixture scheduled tomorrow night. Of course, there's a watch along. It's late night game. We don't give a damn, do we? But yes, um, let's see how things will change. But first news that we've got here is Abdallah Sima. Now, you know, I've been talking about this guy for the past week or so. This guy from Slavia Prague is being considered as the next Thierry Henry. So now his boss is urging him to stay at the club and improve before his big move, just like Thomas Soucek. Now, Calcio Mercato are also said to be keeping tabs on him. The new Thierry Henry is what he's been named as. So West Ham are also in for the player after having great success with Soucek and Vladimir Kufal in that market. Now, his boss, Jindrik Pisovsky, says it would definitely be better for him to stay here. That this is being solved by Jirka Bilek, the sporting director of Slavia. I don't know. I don't want to know anything about it so that it doesn't distract us. The transfer window will open in January, and it is clear to me that if a player has such performance and potential, foreign teams are watching him and he is interesting for them. We would still like to keep him. I hope he stays here and increases price tag, just like it was with Thomas Soucek. However, Mikel Arteta says that there are no plans to walk away from the Arsenal hot seat. He says, I don't like to think about those steps because then I will be thinking in a negative way and I cannot do that. At the moment, I have to try to be as positive as I can. Believe in what we are doing, try to modify things to make it work better and stay strong. We're going through a lot of difficulties. The last thing we want to be thinking of is more problems coming up in the next few months. I'm not in that state of mind. I know the responsibility that I have and why I am here. Everybody knows that from a few months ago, this wasn't going to be resolved really quickly. I think that's the consciousness of everybody at the club. Now, Mikel Arteta reveals that he feels nothing but support and encouragement from the Arsenal hierarchy. He says, no, from within the club, everything I am feeling is just support, encouragement, and total confidence that we will get through this together. Externally, I've never read what is happening. I know more or less what is happening, but I never read it. In beautiful moments, I don't read it. In difficult moments, I don't read it. I just try to focus on the job and what I have to do. But obviously, a club of this stature deserves the best, and when it is not happening, everyone is going to question what is exactly happening. However, Barcelona legend Xavi has left Liverpool off a list of Premier League giants that he would love to manage. He has named Arsenal in it. Xavi told to Sky Sports, obviously, if I had to choose, I would choose a big team. City or United, Chelsea, Arsenal or Tottenham. Also, yeah, Klopp and Pochettino and Unai Emery, many people who have gone there are doing an extraordinary job. Also, Mikel Arteta remains adamant that the atmosphere in the Gunners dressing room is good despite the recent run of form. He says, I didn't say that I don't pay attention. I said I don't read. I do pay attention and I have to be aware. And I'm aware of what is happening, and that is part of my job. What I'm saying is that I don't read. If I started to read all the comments, whether they're positive or negative, it would drive me mad. And my suggestion to every player is exactly the same. All the time it happens with social media as well, because you cannot control who is writing what their intentions are. It is a very dangerous thing to do. When you talk about the dressing room and the atmosphere is good as it can be when we are all hurting because results in the Premier League are hurting us. Also, Arteta also refused to rule out that Arsenal are in a relegation battle. He says, well, when you are at this position and you have the points that we have at the moment, you have to look and be careful because we haven't been a lot of times in this position. I think last year when I came in, we were in a very similar position and the same talk was around the place. It is normal because we need to start picking up points and then forget about it and start to look up the table much further. But it is a normal thing to do when you just look at the table and get the conclusions pretty quick. Now, talking about Mikel Arteta hopes to use the victory in the League Cup to actually give a distraction, because what is happening in the Premier League. He says, This is what we want to use it for, as well as it's a competition we want to try to win. We have two difficult opponents before in Leicester and Liverpool. We managed to beat them both, and now we are playing at home and we are one step closer to Wembley. So it's a really nice game to play, as this is the type of game we are looking for through the season. Also talking about the squad, he says he needs fighters in the squad. He says, I like to look around me, whether it's the staff, coaches, players, and I wanted to see fighters. Normally when that happens, you have two types of people, fighters and victims. You need fighters and you don't want any victims. Victims bring excuses, victims bring negativity, and they start to blame anything that is happening around them or is not going their way. You need people who fight, people who contribute, and people who are ready to give everything to the club in this very moment. About Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Arteta says, Oba is not fit for tomorrow, that's for sure. He is feeling much better. He was more positive yesterday than in the previous 2 days. He will have another scan in the next few days, and we will see how quickly we can get him back in the team. He knows how important he is for us. He feels the responsibility, and he's trying his best to be fit as quick as possible. That's really good. Peter Crouch believes Arsenal team won't get the thing required by bringing in Mesut Ozil. He says, I don't think for 1 minute that bringing him back, no matter how much of a class player he is, will spark the change that they need. I can understand people asking why Mikel hasn't tried it, but the manager has clearly made his mind up. This issue isn't sustainable. I played for Tottenham, but I have huge respect for Arsenal. The Arsenal I knew wouldn't have put itself in a position where a player is able to tweet after a game, hinting at division and undermining the manager as Ozil has done. As it stands, Arsenal are heading towards a relegation battle, and it shows how badly things have gone since Arsene Wenger left. The Unai Emery experiment was a disaster, and at the moment you cannot see where the next 3 points will come from. Now, news by FC Inter 1908 is that the last hours Inter and Arsenal have seriously reconnected to try to strike up a 6-monthly exchange for Xhaka and Eriksen that would make both clubs happy. So it could be a 6-month loan deal for Eriksen to Arsenal and Xhaka to Inter Milan, and timed negotiations without constraints with a necessary update at the end of the season when it will be time for definitive choices. Inter and Arsenal had held talks in September, but they did not progress any further, and it looks like that they might. Moving on, Armand Traore says the players that are being put out there are not good enough. They are getting the results of a relegation form, then at the end of the day, they're going to go down. Some senior players look like they don't want to play for Arsenal, which is a shame. At the end of the day, if it keeps going like this, they're going to go down, and that is a fact. Arteta says normally when a batter... Okay, I already mentioned it. Okay. Kevin Campbell says apparently Saliba has made great progress in training. Mustafi will leave after the season, of course, and Saliba needs minutes. So why not give him Mustafi's minutes? So this is what he wants to say, and I completely agree with it. I think let's do it, man. Let's not give Mustafi any more chance to ruin our night. Also, about Gabriel Martinelli, Arteta says we cannot put that pressure of being the club's savior on him. It's not fair for him. He brings that enthusiasm that the fans can see because he's got something special, a special energy every time he steps on that field. But remember that Gabby, what he's done in the Premier League, the time that he's been with us is very limited. Let him develop like we are doing with many other young kids that we have here. So Arteta on if he will play his Europa League team versus City. He says, let's see how the boys are today. Oba is not fit, so we will see who is available because we have a few doubts in other positions. We want to get together a very competitive team because we know the level of City and we want to win. And Jamie Carragher said about Saka, he has been Arsenal's best player. Every time he gets the ball, it looks as though something is going to happen. To think at 19, he looks Arsenal's best player. True in every sense, eh? Also, none of our business, but still, Hossein Aouar was named in SofaScore Team of the Week. Yes, he was already named in the League On 2021 Round of 16 Team of the Week. Now, you can see 9 different teams are featured with Lyon and Metz, the only ones with multiple players, while the latter's Algerian star Farid Boulaya is our Player of the Week. So Farid Boulaya is the Player of the Week, but more importantly, it has been Hossein Aouar with 8.1 rating is also the one who made the thing. And also an Arsenal source has told Football Insider that the club have started negotiations with Rob Holding about signing a new long-term deal. Yes, Rob Holding is going to be given a long-term deal, and yes, that is what it is all about. Yeah, yeah. So these were the news of the day. I hope you enjoyed whatever came your way. All the views and news and everything about Arsenal comes to this platform every single day, twice. So what you got to do is subscribe and hit the bell icon. I will see you in the next one. And do not forget daily Arsenal transfer news and of course something really special about FIFA, of course. So until then, I will see you in the next one. Cheers.